Welcome to Nexus Edge, the show that will help you get an edge on the competition. My name is Turd Herder, and I am your esteemed host of Nexus Edge, and we pardon the interruption to your regularly scheduled Mead Hall, but we wanted to bring you this extra special Mead Hall edition of Nexus Edge. Now today, I'm joined by my stupendous panel, and starting from the top, we have one of our regular Nexus Edge panelists, Ziltoid.
Hey.
And in the middle here, we have our other regular Nexus Edge panelist, Whoa No.
How's it going, everybody?
And for this very special Mead Hall edition of Nexus Edge, we've been joined by the moistiest man I know, Weenus.
Well, hello, everybody.
And thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to our regular panelists as well. Now, for today's discussion, we wanted to talk about a little bit about Season 5. And I was hoping that we could talk about the top 5 played heroes from NGS Season 5. And we're going to start it out with number 5. Wono, start us out.
So starting us off at number 5, we have the Lord of Terror, Diablo. Overall pick rate, including bans, he was eclipsed by one other member coming up later on this list. But as far as just pick rate, he was 5th. It makes sense. He has 2 very strong heroics. He's very tanky late game, has amazing engage potential, and it's what makes him an incredible tank and one of the main staples of NGS. And with that, we're moving on to number 4. Weenus, take it away.
Thank you, Whoa No. Coming in at number 4, it's Jana. Jana is very, very popular, coming in 43% pick rate in Season 5. Why was she so popular? Well, she has high burst, high amounts of crowd control, and she's able to both engage by slowing enemies to start the fight, and also very powerful at kiting heroes because all of her abilities have slows on them. She also fits in very well with a whole bunch of comps, which makes her really flexible and able to work with a whole bunch of other heroes. So it makes her really strong. All right, moving on to number 3, it's Ziltoid.
The ultimate face-smashing dwarf had an impact in NGS Season 5, making it a top 5 contested picks. With an average popularity through all divisions of 58.7%, he remained a constant threat within the draft end of the game. As the second half of the notorious Goomba Stomp squad, along with his partner Irel, you would witness these two stomping all over backlines everywhere, smashing people with their iconic hammers. Meriden's win rate was less impressive, with 44.5% across all divisions. With powerful tanks in the meta like Garrosh, Johanna, and Diablo, Meriden seemed to fall behind a bit with the bottom 3 divisions. Comfort clearly plays a role, but as a tactical skill increases in higher divisions, he became less effective overall. Moving on to number 2.
Number 2, we have Deckard Cain. He was sitting at top popularity, including ban rate, with a pick rate of 50%, appearing in 50% of the games. It makes sense. He had immense CC, crazy amounts of sustain healing, especially on sustain points such as Infernal Shrines or Volskaya. His CC chains helped him really set up other tanks and helped initiate for tanks such as Garrosh or Johanna, who maybe didn't have as strong of CC to start their chains off with. And overall, he was just an incredibly strong pick, brought a lot of sustain, a lot of utility to his teams. Lornado, an incredibly strong ultimate, as well as Stay a While and Listen. And his level 20 upgrade, the Endless Potions, it's broken. It's so good. And that brings us down to our last spot. Back to you, Ziltoid.
Number 1, Johanna, our favorite apprentice-seeking crusader from the dark and dreary world of Sanctuary, smashed the league in Season 6, becoming the number 1 contested pick. With a whopping 72.1% popularity in all divisions, it seems few teams were ever without the stalwart warrior of the Nexus. With a self-cleanse, shield, wave clear, AoE slow, AoE stun, and AoE blind that helps neutralize some of the strongest AA heroes like Raynor and Cassia, Johanna has it all. This is reflected in her win rate, which was a respectable 52.1% across all divisions. Only Storm Division remained below the 45% ideal threshold. All others would have been around 50% or higher. With all her defensive tools, she had very little threat from enemy tanks like Diablo and Garrosh, and tank buster units like Tychus and Raynor. Johanna remained durable, reliable frontline that helped enable the rest of the team to do their work. It could also supplement the wave clear abilities of her team. You couldn't ask for anything better.
All right. And that's season. And because we're here in the Mead Hall talking about season 6, it's only fitting that we start talking about these 5 heroes moving on to season 6. So, well, let's start with you. What are we going to see from Old Man Deckard?
Being the support main and former Deckard main that I am, it really breaks my heart to tell you guys that I expect to see a significant drop in the amount of play that Deckard sees. He's seen changes over the life of Season 5 and through the current season, Heroes Lounge and everything. The changes to things like his Ancient Blessings, while potent, it's still such a strong talent that really didn't change much for him, and it was still pretty much the must pick for level 13. But what's really happened lately is the nerf on the cooldown of his potions. While it only moved from 3 seconds to 4 seconds, that cooldown change was actually really immense and cut his healing throughput quite a bit. So while he still remains incredibly potent for his CC and will still see some picks to help initiate with tanks that maybe otherwise can't, and to follow up on other CC chains, he will see an overall drop in play, and I expect him to see drop out of our top 5.
Ziltoid, what about you? What are we going to see from the tanks?
Not much change in the tank area. I expect Muradin's pick rate probably to go down overall due to the other additions into the tank meta, like Mal'Ganis, like Imperius, and other things like that. But for the most part, Diablo will stay strong. He'll probably get a little bit more picked, and Johanna I expect to stay pretty much the mainstay she has been for a while now.
And Weenus, what are we going to see from our lady Jana?
Oh, probably a bunch of ice, maybe some snow cones, something like that, maybe some Frozen references. But as far as Season 6, I think she's going to drop off a little bit. I think she's going to still remain pretty popular. We have another mage. We have Orphea, who's been quite popular recently, and I believe is quite strong. So, I mean, you might get some picks leaning that way. KT, KTZ, there's plenty of competition for mages. And with some of the nerfs to Raynor and Phoenix, who really monopolize on that slow, I think that makes her slightly less attractive than she was in Season 5.
Hard to argue with those facts. All right, guys. NGS, that's all we have time for today. We're going to let you get back to your Season 6 Mead Hall. And I would like to thank all of our panelists, Wono, Ziltoid, and especially our very special and very moisty guest, Weenus.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And this is Turd Herder saying adios, amigos. And remember, stay safe in the Nexus. Remember to take your game to the edge.